Let us begin. So to start, we're going to open a portal out to a place outside of our realm, a bubble in another world. So we're going to start with our hourglass, and it should be standing upright with the top bell empty. Hold the empty bell in your hand or in your mind, lifting it from your altar by the empty bell. Take a deep breath in and hold. Envision the tiny drop of molten glass that formed this bubble. Now exhale, envisioning the growing bubble of molten glass expanding with your breath. As we breathe in, envision the sacred space expanding within. As we breathe out, envision the opening of our sacred bubble in space and time, expanding before you like the bells of the glass, one within, one without, one with everything. Now, holding the hourglass in your hand or in your mind's eye, swirl the sand in the bell below, spinning the sand inside as we align our energies with each other. Chant the sacred Om with me. When we're done, we'll turn it over, but for now. Expanding outside time, open with our minds. With the falling sand, the sacred circle stands. Now turn it over.
Now, take your flower in hand and gaze into its center. The plant that gave this flower gathered all the light of the sun, nutrients from the soil, the flowing waters, the air that surrounded it. It made use of the wisdom of the ancient spiral that transformed it through countless generations untold. This flower opened itself to a world it could not see or know, offering a sip of sweet nectar, hoping that forces beyond its understanding would help it grow beyond itself. So too do we gather all the sweetness of our minds, our hearts, our bodies, and our spirits to open ourselves anew to the magic of this full moon. Now anoint yourself by placing this flower at your third eye, the middle of your forehead. Let your third eye open as this flower opened to light unseen, with hope for the bright future that this moon cycle brings. With this hope to light our way, we entered the sacred space before us, a place that is not a place and a time that is not a time.
Yeah. So it's the blue moon in Aquarius, an air sign. Aquarius's motto is to know, and this blue moon focuses on the most rare and sacred knowledge, the most revolutionary truth. To know our gods, know the source of their power, and let that knowing be the path that bears that light into reality. To know our gods, we must step through the looking glass, dive deep into the reflecting pool to bear the wisdom of the deep waters back with us to the surface. Invocation, literally bringing the power of the gods down from the heavens, is a revolutionary act. Aquarius helps you form your own path and connect more deeply with your individuality. It'll let you harness the innovation that's out there, and at the same time, you've got the energies of social responsibility. You've got an expression of your own individuality that frees us for the radical change, the experimentation, the collaboration that Aquarius is all about. Aquarius reminds us, especially in this blue moon, it reminds us to embrace our unique talents and perspectives while recognizing our impact that we have on the world around us through our individual choices. we're being motivated to release the old ways of thinking that cause us to dim our lights. And really, it's time to let go of the fear of change and open up to how we impact the world as individuals so we can all shine our light. So air, to begin, air, thoughtful messenger of meaning, ever expanding, restless, formless, always moving, always vibrating. Bring your inspiration, ideas, wit, knowledge, guide our magic with wise intent. Welcome, air.
Welcome.
Welcome, air.
Welcome, air.
Water, you who are always surrounding us, from our mother's womb to the tears in our eyes, from a sprinkle of rain to an intense waterfall, from the waves of the ocean to the blood in our veins. You give us emotion, love, dreams, and imagination. You cleanse us and you heal us. We thank and honor you. Be with us here and now. We welcome you. Water.
Welcome, water.
Welcome. Welcome, water.
Welcome, water.
Earth, our grounding and source of stability, I call on the maturity, wisdom, and longevity that you provide to nature and the trees and everything around us. Welcome, Earth.
Welcome. Welcome, Earth.
Welcome.
Fire. If you have a candle, now it's time to light her. Your passion, your transformation, and your movement. We need you all day, every day, and in this space to help us move forward and to keep the staleness away. I light this candle. I welcome you, fire.
Welcome, fire.
Welcome.
Welcome, fire. In this sacred space, all the gods and goddesses and all those in between are welcome. As we begin our journey into Aquarius' knowing, in the light of this full moon, we call upon the energies of our deities as we know them to join us and lend us their power. We don't call them from outside of ourselves, from some distant place. We call them from the infinite depths of our own infinite spirit, where their power is truly born. We call upon them to awaken and join us in this rite. I, Matthew, awaken Prometheus from your slumber within. Rise with your intellect, your innovation, and your selflessness. Awaken Prometheus. Arise from within.
Awaken Prometheus.
Fedora?
I, Shadora, awaken the Aztec goddess Chantico from her slumber deep within. Rise now, Chantico, and pour forth your blessings of kinship, of unity, cooperation, and protection of home and hearth. Arise now, Chantico, goddess of all things precious. Arise from within.
Arise, Chantico.
Arise, Chantico.
Tuesday?
I, Tuesday, awaken the chariot with your balance, your mastery, and your dedicated direction. Awaken chariot, arise from within.
Ooh, arise, chariot.
Arise, chariot.
Bonnie?
I, Bonnie, awaken Hygeia from her slumber deep within. Arise with your prevention of sickness, with your continuation of good health. Awaken, Hygeia, arise from within.
Arise, Hygeia. Summer.
I, Summer, invoke the ancient witch within us all. Memories of past triumphs, memories of past technology, knowing the truth of our wisdom. I awaken within us all the ancient witch.
Ooh, arise, ancient witch.
Arise, ancient witch.
Sharon.
I, Sharon, awaken Shiva Om to the creative power of the peaceful warrior, so we know how to fill in our truth to lead the abundance of our own life. Welcome, Shiva Om.
Welcome, Shiva Om. Jennifer?
I, Jennifer, awaken 9 goddesses to help with money, love, and protection. Lakshmi, Venus, Kuan Yin, Brigid, Isis, the Sacred Sisterhood of the Muses, Green Tara, the White Buffalo Calf Woman, and Mother Nature. May we be mild and wild, arise and awaken our wildness and the rainbow of our colors and our various attributes. Arise and awaken our action and our great strength. Provide us with special protective powers to ward off the evil and shield us from spiritual harm. Please arise and awaken and deflect the negative energy so that we may overcome danger and quell our fear and anxiety. I am safe and sound in the arms of the mothers. Arise and awaken.
Arise and awaken.
Arise.
Woo! That was some good goddess. Good goddess. Good goddess.
Ooh, I got some chills.
Good goddamn goddess. Tarot cards and...
Can Brandon say his real quick?
I'm sorry, I forgot about Brandon. Yes. Go ahead, Brandon.
I, Brandon, awaken Elios from their deep slumber within. Rise with your personification of mercy, clemency, and compassion. Awaken Elios. Rise from within.
Awaken Elios.
Awaken Elios.
Now I got some big chills.
Is there anybody else who's here that I did not mention? Any other gods and goddesses out there?
Moose.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So now that we've done these invocations, and in general, I bet you've done lots of invocations in your life, where you call to these gods and ask them to bear witness to this ritual. But this is a revolution. This is not just a ritual. This is a revolution. And so tonight, for this blue moon in Aquarius, when we invoke the gods, we mean it. So if you haven't yet arranged a reflecting pool, this would be a good time to get your black bottom bowl or your plate or your mirror or whatever you're going to use to gaze into and see your own reflection, or as best you can by the candlelight that you've got. I can see little glints of light off my glasses, and that's what I'm using. So in general, right now, there's a lot of energy coming in from all directions because it's the middle of the summer, and the sun is shining, and everywhere we look, we can see nature starting to make its choices for what it will leave here in this sort of midsummer heat, and what will be created as we move forward toward the harvest. Our mission is to know that most revolutionary truth, that the gods are called from within, that their strength is our own, and that we must claim our responsibility as creators in order to bravely and intentionally shape the world with our magic. So now, we're going to gaze. Gaze into the reflected water or the mirror. Look through your left eye, then look through your right. Now both again. Gaze into the water. Feel your features dissolve. Watch as your eyes melt away, your cheeks, your nose, your face. Feel the universe dissolve. Feel as the butterfly feels inside the cauldron of its creation, inside its cocoon. Feel yourself disassemble. Gaze into the reflection. When you feel the blurring of your own face, tap the water, tap the surface. Watch the ripples. You can also tap the glass of the mirror. Gaze into your own reflection. Through those vibrations, through the ripples, allow yourself to reform into the shape of your deity that you've called tonight, or one of many. Look at your eyes. What color are they? What colors? Feel the face of your deity taking form over your own reflection. The face to the gods. It is your own. Now we're going to take some time to really gaze and to really allow that shape to set as we consider how we will not just invoke these gods, but utilize their gifts, utilize their creative power to impact our world for the better, to transform our world for the better. How will you tap into this power to shape the coming world? Take a moment to gaze. Now we stand. In the face of our gods we stand. I, Prometheus, will continue to bring the light of the gods down to earth for the use of man and woman, all people, because people are the most valuable. I will treasure innovation, and I will make it accessible where I can. And I will bring that joy to others. Chantico.
I, Chantico, will wear my crown of poisonous cactus thorns to protect all things precious, all people, and I will keep the home fires burning for those that go and fight a revolution. When they come home, they will know they are safe. I will bring love, unity, and compassion to all who ask for it.
The chariot in the light of the sun and moon. How will you use your power? What will you create?
I will create a table at which, when you sit, will be at your availability. Elements, power of light and dark, and the sands of time. I will allow mastery to flow to all. That is my vow.
Stand, Hygeia. How will you heal this world?
I, Hygeia, will do everything in my power to work toward a world of health and wellness and fullness and wholeness.
Stand. How will you wield your ultimate creative power? Ancient witch, rise! How will you wield your creative force?
You can find me in the desert as I stand on the cliff, dancing my music to the stars, to the sky gods, to the star gods. I wear leather, fringe, blue the color of a robin's egg, and I dance. I dance for the earth and I dance for the world. I dance out the knowledge from my ancestors.
Stand, 9 goddesses. How will you wield your creative forces?
I am goddesses of 10,000 names and many mothers. We will keep the sacred fire of inspiration so that you may honor and cherish self, so that you may progress on the path towards finding love and happiness, radiating peace as you go, allowing all to be fearless in the pursuit of goals towards the revolution of many mothers and blessing all life. May they be growth and prosperity in right ways so that we may share and thrive in our community.
Rise, Helios. How will you wield your creative force?
I, Ethios, will continue to show all that compassion and forgiveness is an everlasting trait. I will show clemency to all who need it and all who deserve it.
So now that we have each claimed the power of our God from deep within ourselves, it's ours to use that power to shape the world. With Aquarius's knowing, we know. We don't. With Aquarius's knowing, we are actually given both the responsibility of knowing that our actions are creative, but also the freedom of knowing that we will chart our destiny, and that's what we chose. So before we close, I'd like to ask if anyone has any healing energies or any other particular magics that you'd like to put out there for this full moon in Aquarius.
I would really like some safe travel energies put out there. That would be cool. Going on a road trip, and I always like having safe go out and return. And I'd also like to just, put out healing energies just in general, just for those in need and perhaps those in pain or feeling sorrow. I would like to just imagine holding their heart and comforting them.
I'd like to send out some healing to a few people who are in transition and many who are in need of physical and spiritual healing. And I'd like to echo that energy for safe travels. I have a long way to go and a lot to do when I get there and a long way to go when it's done. And I would appreciate that energy as well.
I have a suggestion for a way that we can carry out this energy. There's a little chant, but the chants don't generally work very well as far as like doing them in unison, so don't worry about that. But we're going to chant, "Let the way be open." Let the way be open for all of the creative forces that we're bringing together tonight from the depths of ourselves. But also let the way be open for healing to flow through to where it's needed most. And let the way be open for our travelers to find their way safe home. And to their destination, obviously. Let the way be open. Will you chant with me? Let the way be open.
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 Let the way be open. Let the way be open.
Let the way be open.
Let the way be open.
Let the way be open.
Let the way be open.
Let the way be open.
Let the way be open.
Let the way be open.
Let the way be open.
Let the way be open. Let the way be open. Let the way be open. Let the way be open. Let the way be open.
The way is now open.
The way is open. So with that, let's take a bite of our bite that we set aside and our sip to bring us back to this world. And Shadora, I think, has some guideposts to help us get there.
First, we will give thanks to the air, the water, the earth, and the fire for joining us here in a time of no time and a place of no place. We give thanks to each deity, that each which has awakened and brought them forth to share their energies and their powers. Now, as we feast together and find ourselves slowly returning to our place, to our time. Let us feel the pull of Mother Gaia. As beings, we begin in the spiritual world, and the east direction represents our arrival in the physical world. The rising of the sun represents new growth, the conception of a new day, of a new being. It represents creation. We move exploring our new world that we are now part of. We move to the south, where we find our adolescence and its associated growth. It's a direction of building one's identity. As we all know, it's a time of differentiation and separation from our parents, of growing outward. This separation involves our emotional side. As we move to the west, we find it is a time when we build knowledge and wisdom. We throw away the shoulds and the should nots as they are no longer needed. We empty our life of doubts and begin to fill it with wisdom. As adults, we now form our own opinions and develop our own values and live our own life rather than someone else's. It's a time when we find fulfillment. It's a time of maturity where our mental side is exercised. And finally, we move to the north, a time of enlightenment where we become elders. It is a time of refinement and purification. We wear the crown of white on our heads and enter a more spiritual life. From the north we are renewed. Light and darkness mix and accent one another. We return now to the spiritual world where we came from. We are home. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
And with 1 minute to spare, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us for this full moon, blue moon in Aquarius. A wonderful revolutionary energy that it's been wonderful to experience the little Aquarius down to Leo Aquarius jump that we just went through, and I'm so grateful to have each of you here to share it and to bring your gods into the circle to share, into the bubble, I should say. So thank you, and blessed be. You say if you will, go if you must. The call could go on for like another 3 hours or something like that, but this is the end of the ritual.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you
This
to
is
everyone.
I got back in.